Join me as I dive deep into Diane Keaton's incredible career and try to pinpoint what her lasting legacy really is. Diane Keaton, a name synonymous with Hollywood's golden era, has left an indelible mark on film and culture. As an actress, director, and producer, she's carved out a niche that's both iconic and inspiring. From her early days as a quirky, scene-stealing ingenue to her evolution into a respected filmmaker, Diane's impact on the industry is multifaceted and profound. Hollywood is in shock tonight. Diane Keaton, the legendary actress whose quirky charm, wit, and timeless talent define generations, has been confirmed dead at 79. But what really happened in her final days has left fans and friends speechless. From a secret battle she kept hidden to the heartbreaking words spoken at her private funeral, this story isn't what the headlines are telling you. Stay with me because what we've uncovered about Diane Keaton's last moments and the legacy she left behind will change how you remember her forever. Diane Keaton was more than an actress. She was a force of nature, a woman whose wit, independence, and effortless charm redefined what it meant to be a Hollywood icon. From her unforgettable roles in Annie Hall and The Godfather to her fearless personality both on and off-screen, Diane carved a legacy that felt untouchable. That's why the news of her sudden passing at 79 has shaken fans across the world. Tonight, we're taking you beyond the headlines and into the truth. What really happened in those final weeks before Diane Keaton's death? Who attended her private farewell ceremony? And what were the emotional words shared by her closest friends? And perhaps most heartbreaking of all, what secret struggle had Diane been facing behind her radiant smile? A struggle even her loyal fans never suspected. You won't believe the details that have emerged. In this video, we'll explore the life, legacy, and mystery surrounding Diane Keaton's final days, including what Hollywood insiders have quietly revealed, the tributes pouring in from her co-stars, and the hidden messages found in her last public statements. Stay with me because as the story unfolds, every new detail makes the truth more astonishing, and by the end, you'll see why Diane Keaton's passing isn't just another celebrity loss, it's the end of an era in Hollywood. When news broke that Diane Keaton had passed away at the age of 79, the entertainment world froze. Social media flooded with disbelief. Fans refused to accept that the woman who had brought so much light, humor, and honesty to the screen was really gone. But behind the initial shock lay a series of quiet, heartbreaking details that began to paint a clearer picture of her final days. According to those close to her, Diane had been living a relatively private life in Los Angeles. For years, she had stepped away from the constant spotlight, preferring the comfort of her home, her photography projects, and her time spent with family and close friends. She was often seen walking through her neighborhood, sipping coffee or snapping photos of old buildings, the kind of simple pleasure she always appreciated. However, in the months leading up to her death, subtle signs began to appear that something wasn't right. Those who saw her in person mentioned she looked more fragile than usual. Her public appearances became rarer, and even her famously vibrant interviews, once filled with laughter and witty one-liners, seemed noticeably subdued. Sources later revealed that Diane had been quietly battling health issues for quite some time. She had chosen to keep her condition private, a decision consistent with her lifelong desire to separate her personal struggles from her public persona. Diane never wanted pity. She wanted to be remembered for her work, her passion, and her unique view of the world. Friends close to her mentioned that even during her most difficult days, she remained gracious and optimistic. One insider reportedly said, "She never complained. Even when you could tell she wasn't feeling well, she'd change the subject and start talking about something creative, a book she was reading, a new idea for a project, or an old movie she'd rediscovered." In her final week, Diana is said to have been surrounded by her immediate family. There were no flashing cameras, no paparazzi, just quiet moments filled with love, stories, and gratitude. It's believed that she spent her last evening reflecting on her life and the people who made it meaningful. But here's where the story takes a surprising turn. A few close friends say Diane made several phone calls in her last days, calls that hinted at something she wanted to reveal, something she felt needed to be said before she left this world. What was it she shared in those final conversations? Was it a message about her legacy, or something more personal that she never wanted the public to know? In the days before Diane Keaton's passing, a quiet pattern began to emerge, one that has left fans and even close friends with more questions than answers. Those who spoke with her described their final conversations as emotional, reflective, and filled with cryptic undertones. It wasn't like Diane to sound uncertain or melancholy, but in these last few exchanges her words carried a weight that felt almost like a farewell. A close friend from her early Hollywood days recalled receiving one of those calls just 3 nights before the news broke. The passing of any artist prompts us to reflect on their body of work and the mark they've left on their craft. It's a bittersweet moment, really. We mourn the loss of a creative force while celebrating their achievements. With Diane Keaton, the conversation around her legacy becomes even more significant. Her filmography is a testament to her versatility and dedication to her art. We can't help but think about why recognizing an artist's lasting impact matters. It's not just about preserving their memory, it's about understanding the influence they've had on their peers and future generations. For Diane Keaton, this means looking at her extensive filmography and pinpointing the roles that have become ingrained in our pop culture consciousness. Diane's contributions to cinema are vast and varied. She's brought to life characters that are at once relatable and aspirational. Her unique style, both on and off screen, has inspired countless fans and aspiring actors. By pushing boundaries and challenging traditional roles, Diane has left a blueprint for women in Hollywood. Her influence can be seen in the complexity and depth she brought to her characters, paving the way for more nuanced portrayals of women on screen. One pivotal moment in her career that stands out is her role in Annie Hall. This iconic film not only showcased her incredible acting chops but also her capacity as a director. Annie Hall remains a landmark in cinema, a beautifully crafted narrative that's both humorous and poignant. It's a testament to Diane's innovative spirit and her courage to experiment and take risks. Through Annie Hall and other roles, Diane Keaton has influenced future generations of actresses. Her legacy isn't just about the characters she's played, it's about the doors she's opened for women behind the camera. As we look back on her career, it's clear that her impact extends far beyond her filmography. She's a symbol of resilience, creativity, and the power of storytelling. In summarizing Diane Keaton's lasting legacy, we look at her incredible body of work, her influence on cinema, and her role as a trailblazer for women in Hollywood. Her legacy is a rich tapestry of memorable performances, innovative filmmaking, and a commitment to challenging the status quo. If you're a fan of Diane Keaton, I'd love to hear from you. Share your favorite Diane Keaton film in the comments below. And if you're interested in more content on influential actresses, be sure to check out our video on the lasting impact of Audrey Hepburn. Thanks for the watching and subscribes.